Hello patrons, I'm sitting outside in the cold this morning. It was in the high 30s yesterday here in North Florida last night, but it's still so pretty. I wanted to be out here with you, and the sky is just clear blue. There's not a cloud in it, and I could see a little sliver of moon still there. Okay, I wanted to talk to you today about your tone. You know, when you're in a group, a chorus or whatever, or in an orchestra, if you watch an orchestra, there's a tone that is set, and that's with either a little thing that someone blows, or they hit the pitchfork, tuning fork, and set the tone. And it makes the difference in the way everything runs. The whole choral group or chorus group, the whole orchestra is based on that tone. So I want to tell you that I'm aware of your tone. You might not be, but I'm aware of your tone. When I get comments from you and letters from you, there's a certain tone. Some and most are very appreciative. Some are whiny. Some are bossy. Some are mean. Okay? But that's okay. None of that bothers me. I'm really appreciative for those of you that this is helping. But my point is, there's a tone that people don't even realize that they have by the words that they say, especially when you're speaking, the way that you say it. So make sure when you're talking to your family that you're setting the right tone. Number one, you're the CEO. You are the bottom line. No one else. No one else. You. So when you talk to someone, be firm. Now remember, and I've said this before a long time ago on my YouTube videos, remember that teacher that you had who was so awesome and you would do anything for her or him, and the class was in control. Everyone made better grades for that teacher. Okay, and then you had a teacher that came in that you just couldn't stand, and you didn't want to do work for them, and the class was out of control. It all has to do with their attitude or their tone. And so that's the way it's going to be in your home. If you are whiny, or if you're giving up all the time, or you're lackadaisical, you're going to have that kind of classroom where no one gives a darn, no one wants to work for that teacher, and there's no control in the classroom and everybody's throwing spitballs, right? So you don't want that in your home. You want to be the one that everybody wants to please. And the reason they want to please that teacher who is firm, you don't get away with stuff in their classroom. That's the way it is in your house. So you're firm but kind. And those are the words I use over and over again. Be firm but kind. Be firm but kind with your spouse. Be firm but kind with your children. Be firm but kind with your mother-in-law. Be firm but kind with every extraordinary person outside of your home and inside your home. Firm but kind. So I'm going to give you an example of a fly baby that I talked to yesterday. You know who you are. And her spouse, she and her spouse were going to have a family fun day. And they were going to go hiking. And they were excited about it. Everybody had planned on it. But when it got close to the time to go, and this person has a large family, the husband decided that it had snowed and it would be more fun to play in the snow. And they ended up doing that. The problem was the snow clothes weren't ready. You know, you have to have proper attire for snow clothes. It's different than hiking. And it took a long time for her to get all the family's things together. And as a result, it was a little bit frenzied, so that when they came home, everything was thrown in a bin because they had somewhere else they had to be. They had another commitment. And I told her instead, this would be the difference. Instead of saying, okay, we'll do it. You're the CEO of the family, of the clothes and those kinds of things. So you would say instead, honey, that is a great idea, and I know the kids would love it. Unfortunately, their snow things aren't ready, and it would take me 45 minutes to get them ready. Don't forget, we have a commitment this evening. That's going to limit us to like 30 minutes in the snow, where we could do 2 hours on our hike, which is what we'd planned. How about we do it next week? It'll still be snowy, and it's such a great idea. See, that way you're not whining to him. You're not complaining to him. You're just being the CEO. These are the facts. This can't happen. If it does, this is what's going to happen. The payoff isn't worth it. And so it's a firm but kind. Honey, that's a great idea. oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. Unfortunately, the snow clothes aren't ready. And it would take me 45 minutes to get those ready and then get everyone in them. And by the time we get there, we're only going to have so much time. So even though it's a great idea, this time let's go hiking like we planned, but we can do that next week. Do you see the difference? I hope you do. The same thing goes with having your children clean up in the house. So if you say to your kids, you kids, why? I've told you we're having clutter check. Why would you have all this stuff here? Have you lost your mind? How do I know that? Because I've said that stuff to my kids, but don't do it. It doesn't make for a happy household. Instead, say something like, I'm going to do clutter check in 30 minutes. So when you're ready, if you only think it's going to take you 5 minutes, that's fine with me, but in 30 minutes we're having clutter check, or in 5 minutes, or whatever you decide to do, and we're having clutter check. If you don't pick up your clutter, don't forget that you've chosen the alternative. So you have a choice. You can pick it up, or you can do the other thing that I told you will happen, which is a circumstance or a natural consequence, like you're going to lose some privilege, okay? So if you don't do it, nope, or you're going to take their toys away, or whatever it is, put them away for a week. Whatever you've told them you're going to do, you can't just spring it on them. You've got to have a conversation at the supper table. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have clutter check. I'm so excited. I know you're excited. The house is going to be great. So you pump them up. You pump them up. It's going to be great. And it's only going to take a few minutes. And I'm going to do it 3 times a day. So it's never going to be all these giant messes of toys, because you're going to put up what you play with 3 times a day, and it won't be so bad, right? Because you are going to do it 3 times a day. Before they leave for school, when you get home from work, or in the afternoon when the kids get home from school, or in the middle of the day if you're homeschooling your kids, and before bed. 3 clutter checks, 3 inspect what you expects, or more on those. So you're just going to say instead, okay, you're doing clutter check, okay, it's clutter check time, and you go in there and you're disappointed, but you're not going to let them know you're disappointed. You're going to say, okay, I see. Mary, are those all your toys that are in the box? High five. Good job. Bobby? Dude. Okay, well, that's all right. It's okay. You don't have to pick them up. Just remember now that you can't go to the birthday party this weekend. Now they're going to have a fit. They're going to have a fit. But you already told them, and so you're going to have to follow through with whatever it was. And it's got to be enough to cause them to want to do something in the future. Mama, no, I'll pick it up. I'm sorry, you already made your decision. Now I'm going to pick it up. No, Mama, I'll pick it up. And you might let them get away with it 1 time. 1 time. Don't let them get away with it twice. Remember, you're the CEO. At some point, you're going to have to do the hard thing, which is enforce the consequence. But tone is everything. Kindness and firm. Just like the teacher. If you got a D, you got a D. She's not going to change it. He's not going to change it. He's kind. He says, you know what you could do to improve this in the future? You could study this, this, and this, or come see me after class and I'll give you some extra study to do so that the next grade you get will be better. All right? So you're firm but kind. You're not that crappy teacher who says, whatever, yeah, everybody got a D. You're going to have to study. You know what I'm talking about. There's a difference in a teacher that cares. And that's what you are. You're a teacher in your home, but you're also the CEO. So I want you to have that good tone in your voice, that good tone that you're setting in your home, in your life. Somebody comes to you and says, make 4,000 cookies this weekend. We need it for this thing. And it's 2 days before. And you say, firm but kind, oh, I'm sorry. I already have plans. Next time, if you'll get to me in the beginning of the week, it'll give me more time, and I can certainly plan it out. I have a day that I like to do those things on, but otherwise my calendar is full. I'm sorry, you'll have to find someone else this time. Firm but kind. You're kind. You're not mean. You're not like, what, are you kidding? I'm not doing that. You're not. You're just saying, oh, I'm sorry. All right, so this is what you're going to be. You're going to be a CEO. You're not a whiner. You're not a complainer. You're none of that. You're a CEO. Your tone is firm but kind. I hope this was helpful. I always try to have a firm but kind tone with you. I hope you feel it, and I hope you appreciate it. And I hope that you are beautiful today. I hope that you know you're beautiful. And I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.